We wanted to do an update on using a clear reinforced tarp to our hoop house. It is keeping the chickens warm without any supplemental heat or electricity, and it's been a fairly inexpensive change. We paid about $50 for our 18 by 24 tarp. I see prices are up quite a bit to $90, but prices are up on just about everything right now. The important thing to remember is our previous attempt was about a 10 to 15 degree increase over the outside ambient temperature. This clear tarp has been a 20 to 25 degree increase on average. And on days where there isn't a lot of wind and a decent amount of sun, it's been as much as 30 degrees. So the investment in the clear reinforced tarp was well worth it, in my opinion. So here's a quick explanation. Hope this helps somebody else. What's worked best for us here is we're continuing to just use pieces of CDX plywood. I stain them to match the chicken enclosure, and I fasten them on with deck screws just to hold the tarp snug and to keep the wind from grabbing it. So I've got a couple on the faces of the enclosure, and then they're covered by snow now, but I've got a couple on the bottom to keep it flush and prevent the wind from getting under it. That's worked really well. We've had some pretty high winds that it's held up to. So this gives you an idea looking through. It's not completely clear. It's more translucent. You can see what's happening inside. From the house, if you look down, you can see if the birds are in or out of the run. And I'll try and give you a better view. It is like a fiber reinforced heavy duty tarp, fairly inexpensive. It's held up surprisingly well through the wind in the winter. Just tacked on and cut or trimmed back to fit. I've got access out to the run open, and that's facing into the prevailing wind. And then the vent for the roost has been open. And the reason that I feel like this is important is if you were to go outside and put your hand up against that vent, there's quite a bit of warm air coming out just through convection. The good thing that I found about keeping this open is there's very little condensation in here compared to what we have gotten in the past. There's some snow and ice on the roof because it did snow, but inside here, let's see if I can do that. It's fairly dry, which is good. Dry chickens are happy chickens. So the important thing, it is morning. It was in the 20s overnight, and I've had the door open doing chores. The chicken door in the vent is open, and with 30 degree temperatures outside, we are 55 or so, and I've had the access door for me to come in and out propped open. I bet if I were to leave that door shut and come back in 30 minutes or so, it would be in the low 60s in here. This is probably the biggest advantage to doing this type of enclosure with some type of solar cover, is it could be dead of winter. if I stop talking and I'm quiet, you might be able to hear the wind whistling through the trees outside. But they've got a nice spot in the sun, and their egg production stays pretty consistent all winter long. We got a couple eggs already this morning.